my god, is that a stack of netherite, guys? This seed is too OP, guys.
There are a lot of people out there who cheat on their Minecraft speedruns, and some of them are hilarious. But here are some of the funniest fake Minecraft speedruns. This guy spawns in and is near a ruined portal, but yeah, there are far too many gold blocks. Inside this chest there's some very OP things that 100% wouldn't usually be there. And yes, there are 10 enchanted golden apples too. He then makes a nether portal, and then once in the nether, there's literally some bedrock with, you know, just starter gear. I don't actually understand this guy at all. And then he just runs into another nether portal, which is completely different from the other one. And why is there now just an end portal just outside it? The end fight is just pretty normal, even though it takes this guy with literally maxed gear like 7 whole minutes to kill it. I don't think this guy's even ever killed it before. Yeah, this guy gets a 4 out of 10. He was just terrible. In this speedrun, he spawns in and, okay, he's using shaders, which is actually pretty cool. He also has some XP, which automatically shows that it's fake, but let's just carry on. Once he turns around, there's a board with a sign, and there's just Dreamin' Tommy in its faces. And also, if you can see in the bottom right corner, you can see that this guy is in Spanish. He then follows the sign, and it leads straight towards a village, which I don't think is usually in the game. Once he gets some beds, he runs to one specific block and decides to dig down, which ends up being the wrong block, but he eventually gets the right one, and for some reason there's only a stone sword, full chainmail armor, and a stack of bread. Like, if you're gonna fake this, at least make it good, not this. The runner then makes his way to a ruined portal, which ends up having... Okay, bro, come on. You literally forgot to hide the fact that you cheated and just got lazy with the exact full stack of obsidian. Once getting some flint from some gravel nearby, he makes a nether portal, but it was far too small. I think I know why he wanted to fake this speedrun. In the nether, the runner finds a fortress and manages to find this oddly placed chest that has this sword, which I'm guessing has sharpness 5 and looting 3, which is just what you need for some blaze rods. Also, somehow the runner managed to get 12 levels going from the portal to the fortress. And yeah, he basically just killed a bunch of mobs on his way. Then gets all the blaze rods he needs from only 4 blazes and goes back into the overworld where he cuts the video. And yes, this is what the video was like. The runner then makes a wooden pickaxe and runs straight into the stronghold, while also only literally having 0 eyes of ender. Some say this guy used cheats to find it, but I don't believe them. And yes, he uses the famous command to kill the ender dragon. Overall, I'll give this run an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this legit sign at the beginning. There's a few things that instantly showed that this one is already fake. Firstly, it's night and he also has a few levels, which is a clear indication that it is fake. And inside this village house that he runs into, there's literally just a chest above him with some very, very OP things. But this guy literally gave himself a netherite hoe and a ton of ender pearls, but like no blaze rods. And for some reason, he doesn't sound too happy.
Oh, it's such a bad chest.
Once he leaves the house, he finds a pre-made nether portal, which shows again that it is fake. But at least pretend to find some things that you can make it with. And now it's time for a bit of interaction. What do you think is going to happen next? A, he spawns into a fortress. B, he finds a bastion. Or C, he finds both. Well, it turns out you're actually wrong, because it's D, whatever this thing is. He runs past a tower of netherite blocks to get to where the blazes are and to where he can kill some of them. And he should probably charge his tablet because he literally only has 10% left. This guy then goes back into the overworld and looks in his inventory. It turns out that he killed a lot more blazes than what I originally thought. And he doesn't even have any enchantments on the sword. He then crafts himself some eyes of ender, and yeah, he might actually be doing something legit. Oh no, he finds a conveniently placed tower of netherite and mines down there to where he finds the stronghold. And then he just says that he won.
I won, but that was easy.
I'm not sure how he thinks this is how you speedrun, but I guess I'll give this speedrun a 7 out of 10. This first guy spawns in and is already in a village. He then falls into a hole, which may be why he is faking this speedrun. He then farms some carrots and beetroot, which is a bit weird, but he still got some food from it. After running to another house, he manages to find an ender portal, which is somehow already lit. He then runs around the village for a while and finds a house that, for some reason, has 2 chests in it. One of these chests was fully enchanted netherite armor and a sword. But if you look at these enchantments that are on there, he doesn't even have normal protection, and the sword only has knockback 1. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but I guess it works. The runner then gets into the nether using a very tall portal, and I'm not joking, just cuts the video until he was at the fortress. He obviously isn't good enough. Oh, and by the way, he now has a stack of bedrock. I'm not sure why he would need this or why it's a good idea, but let's keep on going. He gets scared of the ghast and make himself a bedrock wall. Right, and then he literally dies from them. This guy is just terrible at Minecraft. I'll give this speedrun a 3 out of 10, just because it was so obvious. He spawns in and is by the sea. He then gets 1 acacia wood, which, by the way, is the worst wood, and then suddenly there's just 4 stacks of planks appearing. And the guy literally just forgets to clear his text from changing him to survival because it's literally on the left side of the screen. The runner then makes 4 crafting tables and all of a sudden has full netherite armor, and somehow also lost all the wood and 2 more crafting tables. He then runs for a bit and decides to run to a specific block where he digs down to find a literal god chest. But if you slow it down, you can not only see the survival level in the chat, but there's also for some reason a hole towards the chest. What I'm guessing he did is that he changed his game mode to creative and placed it all while cutting the recording and forgot to hide the fact that he did it. Once again, he digs down into another hole that has an end portal in the most random place. Like, he is nowhere near an end portal or even stronghold. But wait, he now has some end portal frames, so he definitely just went into creative and placed down that portal because it would actually be impossible. The end fight was just terrible. Like, he just goes into creative and breaks some end crystals, and then he ends up dying. And then he makes his way back into the end again and makes himself a diamond beacon. Yeah, I've never actually seen someone do this before in a speedrun, and now he does the usual thing. Uses the commands. I'll give this guy a 5 out of 10. Just because it was more creative. The way this next guy spawns in is very wrong. He firstly isn't looking straight and is also looking slightly down, meaning that he either cut out the start of the speedrun, which is already not allowed, or he just pretended to start it here on a pre-existing world. Once he starts to move, you can see there is a desert temple, which he ends up falling down, and yeah, I don't think that's what's supposed to happen. And then these chests were just insane. He broke one of them, and I think to hide the fact that he had all of these things in there to begin with. Once he's in the inventory, you can see what enchants there are, and you can see this guy didn't hold back. And we now just find out why this TNT didn't explode, because there's just netherite blocks there. Okay, bro, at least make it subtle. The runner then runs through a nearby village and finds his way to a certain block, which he surrounds with netherite and digs down to end up finding the stronghold. Once by the portal, he places all the eyes in, and then in the end, I'll give him some respect, because he does actually kill the ender dragon legit, without any sort of commands. So for that, I'll give this run a 9 out of 10. For this next guy, it gets really interesting. He spawns in and everything looks legit so far. He gets some hay bales, some wood, and makes himself some stone tools to kill the iron golem. But it's once he loots the blacksmith that you realize that this doesn't look too much like vanilla Minecraft. Like, what even is that pickaxe? And this thing in his inventory is like a diamond ingot. After taking all of this stuff, just look at the amount of achievements on his screen. It's unreal. The runner then does the usual things of getting some beds and also finding another blacksmith with some similar stuff again. Like, this is just very OP. And then this is where the run gets insane. Just take a look around at how many villages you can see. Like, there's literally just 4 around him. The runner makes his way into Nether to find some non-vanilla ore that turns out to be speedrunner nugget, and then also find some igneous rock. What even is he supposed to do with them? He then gets to a fortress and literally waits for a few minutes for some blazes to spawn before realizing that he is actually on peaceful. And then watch what happens when he turns it back on. Yeah, he must feel pretty stupid right now. Once finally killing some blazes, he also finds an enderman and kills it for its ender pearls. And now surely he has to go get more. Oh wait, why is he going back to the overworld? But before he does, he makes this really cool looking eye of ender, which I'm guessing just never breaks. Once he makes his way back to the overworld, he throws this eye, and yeah, so it turns out he is very, very close to a stronghold. And then once in the end, he tries to speed bridge across to the main island and falls off. Yeah, I'll give this an 8 out of 10 because it was pretty legit compared to the other speedruns.